Good day, students. Today I want to discuss on the topic titled Resultant and Equilibrant. Now, what's the definition of resultant force? Resultant force is that single force which acting alone will have the same effects in magnitude and direction as other forces acting together. What's an equilibrant force? Equilibrant force is that single force that will balance all other forces taken together. It has the same magnitude but different direction to the resultant force. What do we mean? If resultant force is 10 Newton, the equilibrium will be minus 10 Newton. You introduce negative signs. It has the same magnitude but opposite in direction. Okay, now let's solve a problem under that really explain resultant and equilibrant force. Let's see. Two forces 10 Newton each are inclined to 120 degree to each other. Let's see. Ten Newton. You have this as your resultant. So that R. Okay. This is 10. This is also 10 Newton. And it's at an angle 120 degree. You have your alpha here to get the direction. When you are looking for the resultant force, you have to get the angle also that the resultant makes with the horizontal to get your direction, because we are referring to magnitude and direction as the definition of the resultant force. Now we are going to use, for the A part, use cosine rule. Using cosine rule to get the resultant force. We have to look for the single force that will replace the given force system. This is that single force resultant that will replace the given force system. Now let's label A, B, C, D. Opposite to this angle, let's call it small letter A, which because the line is opposite to this capital letter A. Capital letter B, since you have R, just leave it as opposite to this. Now C, small letter C. Okay, now what you need to do is to get the angles, and if this is 120, this also will be 120 degree. In the parallelogram, the sum of angles in the parallelogram is 360 degree. When you have 120, that's 240. 360 degree minus 240, you have 120 degree. That means that the remaining two angles is 120 degree. Each of them will now be divided by 60 degree. This one is 60 degree. 60 degree. Now using cosine rule, how do you get cosine rule? When you say r squared equals, squaring this square, this r, you now squared the two other sides, which is a squared plus c squared minus 2. The 2 is constant. You now multiply each of them. AC cos the angle directly opposite to R, cos B. Okay, equals, let's substitute 10 squared plus 8 plus C, 10 squared minus 2 times 10 times 10 cos B, 60 degree. Now r squared equals 100 times 100, 100 plus 100 is plus, minus 200 times cos 60, which is half, 0.5, 2 here 1, 2 here 100 equals, in board mass, addition before subtraction, board mass, addition before subtraction, that's 200 minus 100 equals to 100. Now r squared equals to 100. Find the square root of both sides. On both sides, 2 cancel the square root. R equals to 10 Newton. This is the magnitude. Which is referring to the magnitude. We want to get the direction, which is this alpha. We are going to use sine rule to get the direction. Sine rule, using sine rule, that is A1. Two conditions. Using sine rule to get the direction. Now, since you're having something like this, sine rule is sine. We are looking for this alpha, sine alpha over what's the angle of line opposite to that, A, equals to the one that you have. You must pick the one you have gotten with the angle opposite to it, which is sine B, capital B, over the R. Okay, now you have, it implies that sine alpha over what's our A, 10, equals to sine, what's our angle B, 60 degree, over what's our R, resultant, that's 10. Now sine alpha, you cross multiply, now have 10 sine alpha equals 10 times sine 60 degree. Divide both sides by 10, divide this by 10. 10 cancel this 10, 10 cancel 10. Sine alpha equals 1 times sine 60 is 0.8660. Sine alpha equals 0.8660. Alpha equals sine inverse of 0.8660, which is 60 degree. Alpha is 60 degree. That's the angle. We have gotten the direction now. Let's go to the B part that says find the single force that will balance the given force. You can see that will balance the arrow. Take the arrow down. This is your equilibrant, which is opposite. The arrow is opposite to the resultant. Now the single force that will balance the given force system, which is the equilibrant equals minus 10 Newton, which is equal but opposite to the resultant force. Is equal in magnitude, but it's opposite to the resultant force. This is the end of our class. Please subscribe to my channel so that I can have access to the latest video. Have a wonderful day.